Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. This is my first ever video about everything you need to know before starting AQA A Level Sociology. I'm an A-level student myself and I wanted to start this channel just to help sociology students from another student perspective, to give honest tips and experiences about what it's like to study sociology. As well as that, I'm going to be uploading revision videos and resources just to help you boost your confidence and grades throughout your A-level course. So whether you are choosing your A-levels, about to start year 12, or if you're already studying in year 13, I hope that these videos can make the whole experience just a little less overwhelming. So if that is you, please like this video and subscribe, and make sure to check out my new videos which are coming very, very soon. So before I start the video, I would just like to put it out there that I am in no way a teacher or a professional or an examiner, and whatever I share isn't actually official advice. Everything that I do share, however, is based on my own experiences as an A-level student, my own content, my own notes, and my aim is just to help other students with sociology through sharing revision content and advice, so please do bear that in mind. As well as that, this is my first video, so I do just want to apologise if it doesn't go great, but I'm hoping to improve as I post more videos. Okay, so as you've probably seen on the screen, this is everything that I'm going to be covering in today's video. Just to say it again, this is for the exam board AQA only, so if you're not doing AQA, I mean, a few things in here can help you, but in future videos, it won't be for you. So what do you need to know? I think these are probably the main things that you do need to know going into year 12 to study sociology. So what is sociology? What topics you're going to study? Exam structure? How to prepare over summer? Habits that make year 12 so much easier, and things that I wish I knew or I did before starting sociology. Okay, so one of the biggest questions that I get asked when I tell people that I do A-level sociology, they always ask, what is sociology? I feel like there isn't one correct answer for this, but I feel like the best way to put it is it's the study of society, social behaviour, interactions and relationships. And sociologists look at so many things, but some key things that they actually do look at in our course is how society influences individuals, people's behaviour, their beliefs and their opportunities, social structures and institutions like family, education, religion and the economy, social inequalities between classes, genders and ethnicities, and also how society changes over time. I feel like sociology is such a big topic. There are so many things that sociologists will look at, but like I said, these are the key things that you probably need to know, especially for the compulsory topics. There are also so many questions that need to be answered in sociology, but there are so many different answers. It's just about finding the evidence and backing up your point when answering these sort of questions. But a load of questions that you will come across are similar to these ones, such as why do some groups achieve more in education than others? So if you're middle class, lower class, how does that play a part in achievement differences? Why does crime vary between different groups? And has the family changed over time? If it has changed, how has it changed? There is so much to explore in sociology, and that is definitely one of the reasons why I like it. Okay, so moving on to the topics that you will be studying. Again, this is if you're AQA. Don't worry if you're looking at this slide thinking, how am I going to learn all of that in 2 years? You're not. So everybody does the 3 compulsory topics, which are education, crime and deviance, and theory and methods. Again, it doesn't matter what order you do these topics in. I actually did education first and crime and deviance last, and in between that, I did the 2 optional topics. I did families and households and the media, but depending on your school, they choose the 2 topics, the optional topics that you do. But like I said, everybody does the compulsory topics, which are shown on the left, and then your school chooses 2 optional topics. So you don't have to learn everything on this slide, but yeah. I also just wanted to say, I know this is probably going to be annoying for some, but I'm only going to be posting videos and revision resources and content about the optional topics that I did, which are the media and families and households. So unfortunately, I'm sorry to anybody else doing the other topics, but I have not yet looked at that content for those topics, so those videos won't be coming straight away. Anyway, although the topics do sound quite different, they actually all link together. You'll definitely keep coming back to ideas about inequality, power, social class is a big one, but also gender and different sociological perspectives throughout the course. So if you are thinking, oh no, I'm not doing media, media does actually come up in crime and deviance, so a lot of the topics, like I said, they do overlap, so don't worry about that. Next, moving on to the exam structure. So don't actually worry too much about the exams yet, because your teachers will explain everything as you go, but I think it's just useful to know from the beginning how the course is actually assessed. So at the end of year 13, you'll sit 3 exam papers, each lasting 2 hours, worth 80 marks, but if you have extra time, that is 2 hours and 30 minutes. So first up is paper 1, which is education with theory and methods. So you have education first up in the first half of the paper, which is a 4 marker, a 6 marker, a 10 marker and a 30 marker. Then theory and methods, you have a 20 marker and a 10 marker. Then you have paper 2, which are your 2 chosen topics in sociology. You have 2 10 markers and a 20 marker for your first topic, and then the same again for your second topic. Finally, you have paper 3, which is crime and deviance, again with theory and methods, and it is the same layout as education, which I actually think is quite good and definitely helped me with timings and stuff because I could use it for paper 1 and paper 3. So again, you have your 4 marker, 6 marker, 10 marker, 30 marker, then your 20 marker and your 10 marker, which all in all equals 240 marks, which is quite a lot. But like I said, don't stress, don't let it put you off. It is the last thing that you need to know. I just feel like it would be helpful for some people to know what you're actually going to be doing at the end of year 13. Next up is how to prepare over summer. If you are watching this before year 12 starts, you're probably wondering if there's anything you could be doing over the summer. My advice is genuinely remember to relax and enjoy your holiday. You're not going to learn the whole course over summer. That would just be very overwhelming and also very unnecessary because everyone starts at the same point in year 12 and that's really important to remember. You're not going to be behind if you don't know anything about sociology, especially if you didn't do GCSE, because I didn't do GCSE sociology and my teachers knew that and everyone started at the same place, so honestly, do not worry. However, if you do want to do something over summer or you don't, here is the table for you. Definitely relax over summer because, like I said, you won't miss out on anything. Keep up with the news to start looking at social issues, so read the news, listen to podcasts, documentaries, such as the Educating Manchester, Yorkshire series on YouTube. That is literally sociology related. It is education. It is a topic in sociology which can really help you. There are also so many books that you could read. Anything that you want. It doesn't have to be work. It will help, just watching a documentary. On the other hand, don't feel like you have to study over summer because you have so much time to relax. Definitely take advantage of it. Don't buy loads of expensive textbooks yet because some textbooks don't have all of the topics in, and your school might also give you some too, like mine did. Don't worry if you have not done GCSE. I started it in year 12. Everyone starts fresh. There are new ideas and theories and techniques involved in year 12 that not all GCSE students did. Okay, next I have some useful habits for year 12 which can definitely help to make it a little bit more easier. My number 1 top tip, advice, habit, stay organised. Whether you use paper, your iPad or you type notes, keep it organised because that is the key to when it comes around to revising for mocks is staying organised. It will help so much. Also keep any handouts that your teachers give you and put them in a folder as soon as possible so you don't lose them. Also, this kind of links to the first one, don't let notes pile up until tests and assessment. If you can, make notes in the lesson. If you can't, maybe just summarise your notes after. You'll honestly thank yourself so much, and I wish I did this earlier. Number 2 is definitely practice exam questions often. You don't have to write out the whole answer because a 30 marker is just so overwhelming. I didn't like doing them for homework, but even if you do an essay plan, it's so much easier and you can use them in future essays and assessments. Use AQA mark schemes and examiner reports when you do any questions. It can help you gauge what they're looking for and how to reach top marks. As well as this, ask your teachers to mark any questions you complete because that is what they're there for. They want to help you. They have the knowledge and it can be really helpful to get some valuable feedback. Thirdly, a big one is keep up to date with news stories because using real-world examples in your answers can really boost marks. Even if it's just a small example, a big example if you know it really well, just putting that into an essay, it can really, really help. And finally, something that I would really recommend, although I wasn't too good at this, asking questions if you're unsure. Ask your teacher if you don't understand something, because the sooner you get that idea in your head and you understand it, it will be so much easier when it comes to revising. You already know. Trust me, just ask. Your teachers are there for that reason, so don't worry at all. And finally, here are some things that I wish I knew somebody had told me before starting sociology. Firstly, you really don't need GCSE sociology. All of the people in my class hadn't studied it before, so everyone starts at a similar point. My teachers knew that, so don't worry, your teacher will understand. Secondly, you're not expected to know everything right away. Don't panic when you see loads of new names and unfamiliar words, because it feels like there are so many to remember, but because they come up again and again and again, they become so much easier to understand and memorise over time. I'd also say don't worry if your first essays aren't brilliant. Mine definitely was not, because sociology essay writing is a skill, and like any skill, I'd say it improves with practice and feedback. Another thing that I've noticed myself is sociology changes the way that you see everyday life. Even if you're watching a TV show, you'll be like, oh, that's like sociology. In the news, it comes up so much. Like recently, there's been stuff about working class boys and education. Like it is everywhere, but you don't actually realise it until you start studying it. I've said this already, but keep your notes up to date and organised. It will make revision so much easier. And finally, there are so many sociologists. I can't even remember how many there are, but don't feel overwhelmed. I'd say just learning a few names and just putting them in your essays, it helps. You don't need to know everyone, but it's definitely useful to know a few. But like I said, you're not going to learn them straight away, and that is completely fine. I probably don't know them all. I definitely don't know them all, but it will come as you practice and over time. So yeah, do not worry about the amount of sociologists there are, because I couldn't tell you how many there are. Okay, so I think that is everything that you need to know before starting AQA A Level Sociology. If there's one thing that you take away from this video, please let it be that you don't need to know everything before September, because everyone starts fresh and your teachers definitely know that. Use the summer to relax and enjoy yourself, and if you do want to get ahead, you know what to do. But I genuinely hope you enjoy the subject as much as I do, because I didn't even know what it was when I started, and now I love it. Look at what I'm doing. But if you did find this video helpful, please, if you could, give it a like and subscribe. And if you'd like to see more A-level sociology content, then you're in luck, because that is my plan. But thank you so much for watching, and good luck with year 12.